What is up, guys? Digital VFX here once again, and today I have a tutorial for you on Traktor S4. This is the DJ controller, the upper line one, the better one offered by Native Instruments, and it is also coupled with Traktor Pro 2, the software, and it's a very, very good DJ system, and it's up there with Serato and all the other professional DJ softwares. Those are the main two that I know, Serato and Traktor. So this is going to be a pretty basic tutorial, and if this does well, then I will upload more tutorials, so getting more in depth. So I can put this, let's do extended. Alright, so actually let's put on the mixer for right now. This kind of goes over everything in Traktor mixing wise. You have three sections of your controller. You have track A, track B, and then the mixer in the middle, which deals with effects and also deals with all the mixing aspects, all the frequencies, and which side gets which side you're playing sound from. You can also activate deck C and deck D through the buttons in the top right and top left. As you see, you can press them and it lights it up. You can't really see the controller I have, but you have the deck D and deck C. They're appropriately labeled on the controller. So when you press them, it lights up, and you can also see on the screen where it will tell you it's deck C. And normally, unless you have it configured differently, it will be a remix set, which will contain samples and other one-shots that you can activate, as opposed to a third and fourth mixing deck. So that's pretty much the mixer. If you have any idea and have used music, you should know what all these buttons are for. These are the gain, low frequencies, high frequencies, filters like cutoff filters, and effects. And those are pretty self-explanatory if you know anything or what you're talking about music. Just get that back to 0. Back to 0, 2. It's close enough. Okay, so and you also have the crossfader, which is you have to activate which decks you want to fade. I only have A and B selected because I have A and B set up for my tracks. Of course, this is all how you want to set up, how you're used to DJing. I used to turn this off so I can just get levels right and mix in different tracks. It depends what genre I'm mixing, but right now when I'm doing club music, I have A and B highlighted on here. You could just select them, and then the buttons will, or the corresponding buttons will light up on your controller, letting you know which decks are able to be crossfaded to. So I'm just gonna put two random songs. I'm probably not gonna mix together. Throw them in here. Automatically Traktor analyzes them, and this is just examples, and I'm not trying to mix them, but this is just an example on how to use the crossfader with A and B. This is what side, what tracks are being played when the crossfader is on this side. So for example, if I'm playing A right now, as you can see, A is playing. You can see the volume here. If it is over here and this is highlighted B, it will not play. If this is highlighted A, then that will play. So I'm going to unhighlight A and put over there, and I select A over here because I just like to fade between A and B for those two remix tracks. And that's pretty much as far as it goes for the mixer. And you can go back to Essential because that's what I like to do. And this is how I DJ. This is the screen I see whenever I DJ. And right here are the two track decks. When you insert a track, it will automatically analyze it, and by doing so, you can either click and drag, or you can press browse, which is in the very center of the mixer. It's the bottom center key, And you can use the browse turn wheel to select and press the load button for the appropriate track. Automatically, when it uploads or loads into the deck, you'll see that it syncs it every 4 beats, depending on the BPM. And that kind of helps you out. You can press 1 automatically and it will sync to the first cue point, which recognizes it as the first beat in the song. Same with the other song. Sometimes what I like to do is sync them so it's the same BPM. It makes it a little bit easier. And then once they sync to the same BPM, I will unsync it. Because sometimes when it syncs, the sound gets a little distorted. So you can sync it, make sure it's on time, and then unsync it, and then they will stay on beat. And when you load it, you can select which info you want to do in the settings. Simply click Settings and go to Track Decks. And it will show you what you want to be displayed up here. I have it set on the album, the artist, the song title, and BPM, time remaining. That doesn't really matter for me. It helps, but it's not as important as the tempo and the key, and obviously the title. Those are the 3 things I would focus on. And if you wanted to change the layout of this, just double click and it will scroll through the different layouts. I prefer to have it here because with this setup I'm doing, I've set it up for a concert I'm DJing in a week. I have my remix decks, which aren't as important in this set that I've kind of put together in my head. I haven't recorded anything, but when I'm live playing, mixing, the remix sets aren't as important as the EDM set I've done. So with this, I'm not using the remix decks as much, so I can afford to have them smaller, and I can have the remix or the track decks be a little bit bigger so I can see where to sync them. And so that's pretty self-explanatory. Down here, you won't really need this. This is the looper. You can scroll to see what you want to set the loop, and you can play that. And then if I put that up there and press play, and that will just kind of loop that. You can extend it or shrink it, and you can kind of do the if you're really good at mixing, you can get a build-up effect and go. And you get the point. So that's kind of how you can use the looper tool. You can select this down. Sometimes if I press like this, if you press Q, it'll get off the cue points and you'll get kind of lost on what beats. You can always go to auto and it will if you go down a grid in auto, it will automatically reset the cue points, and that'll make it easy. I normally keep it on grid. When this is up, I normally keep that up and then down when I need to. And down here, here's my browser. Right here is your folders. Sorry, if I go to browse. If you press browse, it will bring it up bigger so you can see a lot more of your tracks. But you can always use one of the looper samples knobs to scroll through your if you have the 2 track decks, and if you use the knob on the left side, the knob on the right side, it will scroll through these different folders up here, which are assigned through automatically, or you can assign them manually. But preparation, history, track collection, those are all assigned defaultly through Traktor. Or you can use the one on the left side to scroll through the folders over here. And then once you have that, you can use the one in the very center at the top to scroll through the individual tracks. Excuse me. And then you can have them, and then you can press load, and that'll load it in there. And then you can unselect browse, and there you have your tracks. And as far as mixing, I already had kind of a mix tutorial on Virtual DJ, which is the same concept. This is just more in depth. How you assign effects now is you would go to first of all, you can go to effects in the settings and assign which ones you want. But you can also go to extended and view them here. You can select your effects, have your more effects over here, and then dry and wet. This is make sure you turn them on too. There's a button that says dry, wet, and on. What a dry wet is, dry is the sound wave that is just raw. Completely wet is 100% of the effect. So if you have a delay, for example, if I turn that on, if I put it 50-50, that will mean you'll hear 100% of the effect and 100% of the original sound. So if it's an echo type, like that's kind of what delay is, you'll hear the original sound and then you'll hear the echoes of it. But if it's on 100% of wet, you'll hear only the echoes. You won't hear the original sound that it is copying. And if it's on 100% dry, you won't hear any of the reverb. So maybe if I can give you a little example. If I go on to another thing to turn on is make sure you have the effects on right there. It's at the top of the track. So I'll put on there and you'll see. As you can see, 100% of the effect, you can only hear the echo. But if you put it at 50-50, you can hear the original sound that was being echoed. Same goes for a reverb. And that is how you use effects. The one thing that I was kind of tricked on is trying to figure out how to keep the effects on, and it's pretty much just make sure these are on right there, and then make sure the dry wet's on so you can turn it on and off. And I guess that's it for the basic tutorial. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on effects and how to mix, I will happily do that. Just request in the comments, and if this gets a bunch of likes, then I will have no problem uploading that video, possibly tomorrow or while we're on break. But hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and thanks for watching.